Good afternoon, Grant here from the HealthTrain. I've been meaning to make this video for a while, so today I'm going to have a quick chat, a little story about how I sustained my pec tear. So yeah, how I did it, when I did it, what I was doing when I did it, and kind of the surgery and the recovery process. When I'd done it, I couldn't find too much about pec tears and recovery times and things like that, so I thought I'd make a quick video. For anyone that's done it and interested. Also, if you just want to know what's happened and see a few funky pictures of what it looked like after I'd done it, stay tuned. Okay, so I tore my pec end of February 2014. I just got back into training upper body as I'd had a bit of rotator cuff problems where I couldn't really train the upper body, anything shoulder, so I'd only been doing lower body. I got back into doing some upper body exercises sort of December time. I was quite excited when I was getting back. I was doing bench press pretty much, 2-3 times a week, a lot, and my 1 rep max was going up every time. I was testing my 1 rep max every single session, so obviously this was putting strain on my tendons. Obviously the muscles were coming back due to the muscle memory, but obviously tendons don't grow quite as quick, so that's probably a bit of a problem. Just a bit of background, I've been training maybe for 10 years or so. I was in the military before, I've done a lot of training there, worked in gyms, just bits and bobs, odds and sods here and there. Yeah, so I was just training hard, doing 1 rep maxes a couple of times a week. Probably shouldn't have done. This particular afternoon I'd gone around my friends, I'd warmed up, I feel quite well. I'd done a few, 10 reps on 60, a few on 70, a few on 80k. This is kilograms I'm talking about for you US lot. Yeah, so that it was going quite well. Prior to this, my bench press 1 rep max was 122 kilograms. Today, the day of the pec tear, I managed to press up 110 kilograms very easily. I thought, looking good. I'll go for 120 kilograms. So I was doing it at a different place where I normally do it. I was going a bit wider than I normally do. This puts more pressure on the tendons. This is my 3rd 1 rep max of the week. And it was a bit colder in where I was training than normal. However, I was feeling strong, so I went for it. So unloaded the bar, down to my chest. My elbows were flaring a bit more than they normally did. Pressed up, got to about there, so 3/4 of the way, and it felt like I'd been kicked in the chest. I actually shouted at my friend, "Why have you kicked me in the chest?" Fell on top of me, wasn't able to press up. Searing pain all down here. Laid down, friends took the weights off me. Apparently I went quite pale. And that is what happened. I'll show you some pictures of what happened afterwards. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that little montage of photos. So as you can see that I got bruising, ecchymosis is called, all down the arm due to gravity. That took a couple of weeks for it to come out, but straight away, second day, it'd gone down this way. And you could also see that I had nothing there at all. It was just hanging down a bit. My boob looked bigger than it normally does. I was unable to raise my arm laterally and in front of me. Additionally, I couldn't even do a girl press up. I couldn't push myself off the wall. There was nothing, no power there at all. So that's the kind of signs and symptoms you're kind of looking for with your pec tear. So after this, straight away I went to a minor injuries clinic. They weren't entirely sure, as it's minor injuries. Sent me to see my GP. I saw my GP. My GP suspected a pec tear. That is where the tendon. This is where the tendon came off the humerus, popped down here. Yes, so as I said, popped off here. The GP sent me over to my local A&E. obviously suspecting the pec tear and said to have a MRI just to ensure that that's what it was, and I may need surgery. Local A&E told me it's just a strain, have some paracetamol and go home later. See my GP in a couple of weeks if need be. Yeah, so as you saw before, the pictures showed what happened the week after that. So I went back to see the GP a couple of weeks later. He put me on an urgent referral, which took 5 or 6 weeks for me to get another MRI, which I ended up paying for so I could make it a bit quicker, and then see the specialist. Specialist said to operate me the next day, and that it should have been done straight away. So, if you suspect a pec tear, go to your local A&E, tell them you suspect a pec tear and you'd like an MRI. This is because you need to be operated on ASAP, because otherwise scarring starts to happen, and it makes the operation of a hell of a lot harder. Okay, so what happened from there? So it took about 6 weeks, had the operation. After the operation I was in a sling for 6 weeks after that, could do absolutely nothing. 24 hours a day, in a sling, even sleeping in it. It was quite painful the first couple of weeks. After that it got better, it's fine, no problem. Problem was I couldn't work. After that was the physio process. Still couldn't go back to work. Tiny little bits of physio with with rotator cuff bands and bits and bobs like that. It took, after taking the sling off, probably a month, 2 months to start properly going back in the gym very, very slowly. I was doing bench presses with dumbbells, with just the bar, so maybe 1 kilogram, 2 kilograms in each. That was it. It took quite a while till I could do a girl press up. By girl press up, I'm not being sexist, just one of my knees. Apologies, it's just that's what they get told to do. So a press up on my knees. So after a while I could build up and do a few on that. I could obviously do other exercises, could do shoulder exercises, squats and deadlifts and things like that, trying not to put too much on there. But I was careful for about 6 months. Some people could possibly jump back in there, such as yourself. I didn't want to do anything to affect the recovery. So I'll show you what it looks like now, shall I? Okay, so here it is now. There's the scar, as you can see. However, it's still pretty deformed. Look at that. Almost on. There you go. And that's because it took so long. It's quite weird, to be honest, and it's still quite weak. Just took so long to get the operation done, so it still looks a bit strange. So now I'm back. I'll do press ups and things like that. I'll do other powerlifting, squats, deadlifts, shoulders, everything like that. Chest, I don't go heavier than 60 kilogram bench press. Sets of 10. I'm not going to bother. I don't want to tear it. So that's it in a nutshell. Any questions? Feel free to ask, comment, anything like that. So thank you very much for watching. Hope it was helpful. As I said, any questions, just pop them in the message below. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Stay on the health train.